Today's June 30th. Everybody knows that, right? June 30th is the midpoint of 2013. How you guys doing? I've already explained these classes, so we're good. You know, I was meditating this yesterday and the day before, so I was praying, getting ready for today. June 30th, the middle of the year. I'm 54. I just turned 54 years old. Some people consider that the midpoint of a life, at least here on earth. I know if you live forever, when's the midlife crisis? You know that, right? So we live forever, so we really don't have a midpoint, because forever is forever, so you can't find the middle of it, you know. But the idea is, as I was meditating this, people really struggle and, in fact, lose their victories in the middle. People are usually good at starting things, you know, a New Year's resolution. They love new beginnings. I need a new beginning. New beginnings feel really good. I love new beginnings. Of course, you like to finish things, but the problem is to finish something, there's got to be a middle. You've got to go through the middle. Scripture that comes to mind is, yea, though I go through the valley. Anytime you think of the concept of through, there's a middle, right? There's a midpoint. There's a section where you are going to be given an opportunity to doubt. You're going to be given an opportunity to turn back. You're going to be given an opportunity to quit. And it's never at the beginning. You don't quit at the beginning. I'm going to begin. Yeah, let's begin. It's like, I've never run a race and quit the first step. I usually run the race and then I find out about halfway into the race that I'm out of shape. What's the point? You know what I mean? You're like, I'm good, and then I'm bad. You know what I mean? I really don't have the staying power to finish. And so preparing for the middle of a life, preparing for the middle of a journey, preparing your heart for the time that you might think would be just the skating part or the coasting part of a journey is in fact not the coasting part at all. It's actually where victory is seized. You win a game in the middle, in the second quarter, the third quarter. You don't win a game just at the end. If you don't do well and stay in step in the middle, you're out of it. I love the scripture that says, as long as the earth remains, seed and harvest will remain. Seed what? There's a time in there, isn't there? Seed time and harvest. Seed middle and harvest. So how do we prepare ourselves? So I want to take you back to Psalm 23. I want to go to John 17. Now let's go to Hebrews 10 first. Hebrews 10. There's so many places in the Bible where it teaches us to really think about the hazards of quitting. Excuse me. In Hebrews 10, it teaches us, towards the end of these scriptures, it starts to teach us verse 37 says, For yet a little while, and he who is coming will come and will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith, but if anyone draws back, my soul has no pleasure in him. But we are not of those who draw back. We aren't those who quit. Having put our hand to the plow, we press forward with great expectation. So preparing for the middle, it's like, keep going. Don't quit. Stay in it. Now I want you to keep your finger there in Hebrews 10, but I want you to go back to Psalm 23, which is familiar to us in such a wonderful and powerful way. But staying power, I remember seeing old movies when they were building They would show a scene of building the railroads in America. And the men that were on the railroad were singing. They had to sing to keep the rhythm. I don't know if you've ever swung a sledgehammer, but a sledgehammer is heavy. And a sledgehammer will develop calluses on your hand, but first it will develop blisters on your hand, and your hands will bleed, especially if you go for a while swinging a sledgehammer. I mean, my hands are so soft that they bleed if I swing a golf club 4 times or 5 times. But when you get out there, the wonderful thing about finishing something, you're going to have to go through the blistering part. And you're going to have to go through the bleeding part until you get to the calluses. And the only way you can get through it, really, and these men knew it whether they believed God or not. You know, I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away, you know. And they would just keep the, you know, I've been working on the railroad. And then because they had to keep it going, because it's your breath, your inner courage. Breath is the same word for spirit, same word for breath, same word for courage. Your breath is what's going to give out on you unless you're conscious of it. You've got to connect to your breath. Right now, in fact, because this thing that's going on in my eyes has been going on for about 12 hours, I didn't sleep. So the only way I can do what I'm doing right now is to trust the breath. Because it's working. My spirit is working. My body doesn't want to work. My body wants to go to sleep. My body wants to shut my eyes. But my spirit will see it all the way through. My body wants to quit. My body wants to cry. My body wants to complain. But my spirit goes on. Your spirit breathes. Your spirit is courageous. Your spirit is connected to something far more powerful than your eyes, than your knees, than your arms, than your back. Your spirit, if you let it go, will take you to the middle, through the middle, no matter what you're facing. But you have to learn to connect to it. Because you don't win in the beginning. You don't even win in the end. You just finish. You win in the middle. You win in the middle by staying committed. You win in the middle by knowing that you're going to get tired, knowing that you're going to bleed, knowing that it's going to hurt. But it's not the time to sit there and go, oh my gosh, I didn't expect this. What are you talking about? You don't pass the test the day you take the test. You pass the test in the boring hours where you had to make silly decisions time and time again, and they weren't very silly decisions. I'm going to read this chapter. And at the end of the chapter, you say to yourself, I didn't understand that chapter. I'm going to read that chapter again. And then you read it again, and then you say, oh my gosh, there's still sections of this chapter that I don't understand. I got to make a couple phone calls. Somebody's got to explain these chapters to me. Because if you don't do that, what happens when you take the test? You fail that test. And guess what happens when you fail a test? You don't finish. So finishing happens in the middle. And it's just all finishing really is deciding to win or deciding to finish. So that just simply means no matter how tired you are, you do what it takes in the middle. You know, sometimes I work with young people and they get in a hurry. They want to finish before they begin. They want to speak and have it happen right away without any middle. But the middle is where the development happens. The middle is where faith is. And the middle is where you connect to your spirit. For it's not by might, And it's not by power, but what? By whose Spirit? My Spirit, saith the Lord. So I don't know about you, but I haven't been working on the railroad. But I still need to sing. And I still need to connect. And I still need to stay on my breath. When I'm tired, it's he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide under the shadow of the Lord, of the Almighty. And I will say of the Lord, you are my refuge. You are my fortress. You are my God, in whom I will put all of my trust. Because haven't you heard, Brent? Haven't you heard, Maury? Haven't you heard, Kim, that the Lord, the God, the creator of the ends of the earth, never gets tired? He doesn't grow weary. The young men will grow weary. The youth shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall rise up with wings as eagles, and they shall overcome. They will. For we have been made more than conquerors. We don't let the middle discourage us. We don't let the middle cause us to doubt. We don't let the middle depress us. We don't let the middle delay us at all. We love the middle because the middle is where we connect. The middle is where we're so needy. It's where we cannot take another step in our own strength. Yet he causes our steps to be ordered, to take ground. The Lord, Psalm 23, you're there now, right? Is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. He's the one that takes his rod, his staff, and smacks me if necessary. He makes me move. And he moves me to where I should be. To where nutrition is. Sustenance is. The air that I need to breathe. Where safety is. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd. He leads me. He makes me lie down. I know in the middle is a place where we worry. Where we start to look at what's going on around us and we say to ourselves, this isn't going to work. And it's at that point where we need to, more than ever, rely on our faith, rely on our connection, rely on the training that we have when we come to church. When the doctors bring an evil report, by his stripes you are healed. I don't get sick. I mean, I'm standing here this morning because I want to be an example to you. I want to be an example to my family. And I also want to tell the devil that you can't annoy me and take me off God's schedule. The more you let circumstances stop you from being where you were scheduled to be to serve the Lord, the more circumstances will arise. Because you're basically telling the devil, my tactics work. If I put something in your way, you'll be somewhere else. If you show up when you got 103 fever, you won't have very many 103 fevers. Because it's there, 103, sickness, poverty, oppression, persecution. It's designed to take you away from your connection. If sickness persecution, poverty, oppression makes you connect harder, it won't be there. Because it'll only be gas in your tank. Now, why won't it be there? Because sickness doesn't come from God. Poverty does not come from God. Oppression doesn't come from God. Persecution doesn't come from God. It comes for the word's sake, so connect to the word. Hallelujah. Weeping may come for a night, but joy's coming in the morning. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for God is with me. When is He with you? In the middle. He's always with you. He's there at the beginning. He's there at the end. Here's what I like. Here's what I like. Jesus says in the book of Revelation, I am the first and I am the last. Who's 2, 3, 4, 5? You! You're the middle. I'm the beginning and I'm the end. You're the middle. I'm the head. You're the body. You're the middle. We don't like being in the middle. When you're running a relay race, they put the fast starter at the beginning and the fastest runner at the end. What about 2 and 3? Nobody knows who those 2 runners are. But if those guys don't run fast, they don't run well, if they don't do their part, if they quit, if they trip, if they're not trained, if they drop the baton, that team loses. We're the body of Christ. We're right there in the middle. We're at the midpoint of 2012. Are you going to connect or are you going to quit? Yeah. That's a decision, that's all it is. And the decision is you just keep moving. Couldn't sleep last night, so you get stuck watching infomercials. So I was watching Insanity, that workout program called Insanity. 60 days, you'll have the body of your life. And they say, this workout, I heard it like 10 times. This workout isn't easy. It'll be the hardest workout you ever did. When you start this for the very first day, you won't be able to do it, but don't quit. Because by the end of it, this will be the workout that you love to hate. And you'll have a body that you dreamed of that you've never had before. And they show these pictures of these ripped people, men and women, doing these jumps, like over and over and over again, Just jumping, I won't make you do push-up contest with me today. But the concept is, when you start, believe it or not, when you begin something, you're actually weaker than you ever are. It's in the middle, when you start realizing you're getting stronger. The problem is, when you start getting stronger, the devil starts talking to you. He doesn't talk to you when you're weak and feeble and silly. He starts trying to distract you when you start becoming a threat. And when you start becoming a threat? In the middle. Because you win in the middle. You don't win at the end. The end is you just skate on in. You've already done the work. You've gotten strong enough. And when you finish, the funny thing about somebody who gets stronger, you know what they want to do right away when they finish? They want to begin again. Why not? You're strong now. I can do it. I like it. I like being strong. I learned a lot of things along this journey. I learned to be anxious for nothing. But in everything, by prayer and supplication, I learned to make my requests to God. With thanksgiving. I'm thankful that He is able to make all grace abound towards me. I am thankful that He'll never leave me nor forsake me. I am thankful that He holds the keys to death, hell, and the grave, and that all power is in His hands. I am thankful that He's closer than a brother. I am thankful for the things He's said to me. Fear not. Be of good cheer. Stretch forth thine hand. Rise up and walk. Be healed. Follow me. Come and see. Oh, you call these miracles? I'll show you miracles. These are just little miracles. You're following me because I fed a few people? Watch when you don't think you can take another step, yet you take another 1,000. For they that wait upon the Lord, they shall renew their strength. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name. He's the health of my countenance. He forgives me all my sin, all my iniquity. And He renews my youth like the eagle. Great is the Lord, and worthy is His name. Greatly should He be praised. For the Lord is my shepherd. He makes me to lie down. He leads me beside still waters, and He restores my soul. So I was trying to, Angel and I rode in together because I got to catch a plane later today. Praise God. Where's my breath? My whole mind is going, make some phone calls. Change, except I'm too tired to make phone calls. I might as well just get on the plane. It takes the same amount of energy for me to have rescheduled everything this morning to get somebody else to do it. I might as well just get down here and do what the Lord told me to do. Laying in bed, I can't close my eyes. They hurt like crazy. I get in my car. I can't even keep my eyes open. I felt like I was going to fall asleep at the wheel, and it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going like this. Trying to see just to get to Angel's house to drive here. Knowing that quitting is not an option. That complaining is not an option. That giving into it takes just as much time and energy as doing the work. It's June 30th. It's the middle of the year. What are you going to do? Are you going to recognize that you're stronger? Those of you who've been coming to church, those of you who've been doing the work, sometimes you feel a little tired. You feel a little tired. You do. You feel a little tired. But when you get stronger is when you keep moving, when you feel a little tired. Well, I'm tired. You know what people say? When people say, I'm tired, you know what they're really saying? I'm going to quit. I'm tired. I'm going to quit. When you say I'm tired, you just say, you just keep moving. I was actually amazed. I could hardly see. Angela comes over and she goes, well, what order are we going to do these songs in this morning? I'm like trying to see her screen. She's got them on her iPhone. And I'm looking, and so I'm just listening. We came up with the order of the songs. I can't see. I start walking towards the stage. I got to go around to this other side. But then, all of a sudden, I got on the mic, and I got on my breath, and I had a voice. Well, where'd that come from? All of a sudden, wow, it sounds pretty good today. So I can't see. So what? I can sing. I was like, Joe must have done something special to Mike's today because I sound better than usual. Thinking to myself, all I got to do is breathe here and something's happening to my voice. There's something going on with it. I'm stronger than I think. No sleep, pain, can't keep my eyes open, so that just causes, you know how when you start adjusting to one spot, it gives you a headache in another spot. You're adjusting on your face, the next thing you know, your knees hurt. Your nose is running. Your ears are all plugged up. You just don't know because you're compensating, right? You're like twisting yourself all up to try to make yourself feel better when you should just stinking breathe. Because the Lord's going to do the healing. All the twisting you're going to do is not going to get you healed. Amen? So the answer always is connect. For it is not by power, and it is not by might, but it's by my Spirit, saith the Lord. And this Psalm 23 is so powerful because it's like, the Lord is my shepherd is powerful, but the next statement is the breathing statement. I shall not want. I am not going to let my empty stomach make my decisions. I am not going to let my empty pockets cloud my judgment. I am not going to let my circumstances, my pain, the devil's tactics, change my confession or change my course. When I work with people to help them with their lives, I always ask them the first session, where are we going? What do you want? If you knew you could do anything, you wouldn't fail, and you knew you'd succeed, what would you do? What is your goal? Where are we going? Because you're going to have to decide to get there, not just when you start. You know? I don't know if you've ever gone on a long trip in a car, but every now and then you don't have enough gas in that tank to get you all the way there. Sometimes you got to stop and fill up again. But you would not drive a full tank of gas. Some cars have 350, 400 miles worth of gas, and then go, oh my God, I ran out of gas, fill up and go home. Well, you fill up and go to where you were going. Get some of that sweet potato pie when you go see your relatives, you know. They don't serve sweet potato pie where I grew up. You know that, right? See, blonde hair, blue eyes, Irish looking. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what we serve. We don't have any dish that I can think of that, you know, hot dogs and hamburgers. I don't know. Hot dogs, we're very American. But all through this Psalm 23, you've got to get these things. I shall not want. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Now watch this. I fear no evil. See, the yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death is kind of the contemplation of the middle. But the decision to keep going is I fear no evil. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. You know, a few people were having a discussion with my daughter. She's talking about going on some missions trips. She's been traveling, so she has the bug to travel. And so she said, well, I want to go to Africa, and I want to go and do all these different things. And somebody said to her, well, you know, there's a lot of diseases in Africa. And Danielle just looked at him and said, well, I'm going to be a doctor. There's always going to be a lot of diseases. And I don't get sick. I fear no evil. I'm not going to be a doctor because there's disease. I'm not going to get my degree because there's study. I'm not going to go down and get my paycheck because the boss doesn't really like me. No, doggone it, you're going to get your paycheck, right? I don't care if he likes me or not, right? I'm getting my paycheck. Right? Are you going to get your healing? Well, the devil don't like you. I don't care if the devil don't like me. I'm getting my healing. That's the attitude you should have. What about getting your gift developed? What about being like Jesus? What about being everything that you're called to be? Well, the devil stopped trying to stop you from that. He don't like you. Go get your paycheck. Go get your spiritual victory. Go get the joy of being who you were created to be. Don't quit in the middle and say, well, I wasn't supposed to really go. I mean, I love that about the subways, man. The subways, try getting off in the middle. You would only do it once. If you get in a car with me and we're going to D.C., we're going to D.C. I don't care how much you complain, we're not turning back. And I'm not getting off the plane today when I get on it to go to Fort Worth either. No matter how tired I get in the middle of the flight, no matter how annoyed I am with the woman or the man sitting next to me who can't stop talking or elbowing, or other things that I'm not going to mention to you. But you know, people do that on planes and they go, oh, I didn't do it, he did it. That wasn't me. You see all the Asian people putting the masks on. Come on, people. Have some fun, would you? You better have some fun once in a while, because fun, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. Don't let your sorrow, don't let your disappointment take you off what was off the victory, off the design destination God has already designed for you. It's not that much different to quit in the middle on your life's plan than it is to get off the subway between stations when it's moving. Because you get off when you get tired. You quit in the middle. It's like crashing your life. It's like saying, this pain that I have is something I want to get off and enjoy. I'm just going to take my pain and I'm going to stop and I'm going to sit in my pain as if that's going to make it go away. The same amount of time that I can be home complaining about the pain in my eye, I'm complaining about it while I preach right now, as a matter of fact. But I'm preaching. You know what I mean? I remember when I was a little kid, I used to try to come up with excuses before my dad taught me in probably a politically incorrect way. For today, Dr. Spock has had his influence where children are not supposed to be spanked. Well, my dad taught me. He said, the grass isn't going to get cut while you're complaining. He goes, I don't mind that you're complaining. Just do it while you're cutting the grass. But it's hot out there. It rained last night. I don't know how much oil to put in the lawnmower. My dad would say, those are all really good excuses. Just say them while you're cutting the grass. Really good observations. Talk while you walk, bro. Just get out there, cut the grass, complain all you want while you're cutting the grass. See, we want to stop and complain. But when you stop and complain, you ain't getting where you're supposed to go. And you think, you see, you're always going to have complainers, and you're always going to have that voice in your head that complains. Why? Because you get tired. Because doubt comes. It comes to all of us. Fear comes to all of us. But you learn when fear and doubt and fatigue come, you have the little voice in your head, Joyce Myers preaches this amazing. Do it tired. Do it scared. Right? Do it worried, but do it. You know, wives, you know what I'm talking about. Honey, I'm tired. Do it tired. Now I'm meddling. Do it tired. Oh, but my arm hurts. So what? Do it. This is stupid. Complaints, excuses from doing what you should be doing. Men, I'm too tired. We have a whole departments of the government now called disability. There's almost more people on disability than there are on ability. People, the whole world is set up because it's run by the devil to tell you to jump off the subway. You know what happens when you jump off the subway? You get weaker. Step out of the job world. Step out of work. Step out of employment for 6 months and a year and find out how quickly all of your skill sets are obsolete. All. The way the world is changing today, not only are your skill sets, but the problem is you've developed what you do, you get better at. If you're a quitter, you get better at it. You win in the middle. You win in the middle. You win in the middle. You win when you're tired. You win when you're scared. You win when you're hurt. It's when you win. But I'm hurt. I just heard you say I quit. I'm hurt too. You just don't. I'm hurting right now, but I'm not quitting. I'm tired now, but I'm not quitting. So you're tired, mow the grass. So you're tired, make breakfast. So you're tired, go to work. You're hurt, get to church. It's too hot, get to church. It's too far, get to church. Pastor's annoying me, get to church. There are no excuses for quitting, none. Because quitting is jumping off the subway. Quitting is crashing your life. Quitting is disconnecting from what? Your breath, your courage, your strength, your spirit. You're quitting on your victory. You don't win at the end. You win in the middle. You don't get to start over and over and over and over and over again when you're developing more pronouncedly than you ever imagined your quitting ability. You're better at quitting than breathing. You quit on your thoughts. You quit on casting down vain imaginations. We all do. That's why I can preach this, because I understand it. Because I know. I know the voices that come. I know them all too well. Take a break. You deserve it. You're working harder than everyone else. Eat that food. No one will know. Everybody knows. Come on. Well, they don't know. They know. Come on. You ain't hiding nothing. Just because we don't bring it up don't mean we don't see it. You know, we're pretty polite. And that goes for worry as well as food. That goes for fear as well as food. And you know what it really goes for? It goes for quit. I see your quit. I can't travel with quit. I hear quit in the first breath. People say to me, I know you quit before you know you quit. Why? Because I know quit. And I know that when you quit, you're going to get sick. And when you quit, you're going to go backwards, and you're going to need money soon. And when you quit, I know your marriage is in trouble, and I know your friendships are in trouble, and I know your health is in trouble. You got to stay connected. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. I don't get sick. I'm the head and not the tail. Greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. And see, you don't have to do it like that. The best way to do it is just joyfully. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, right? Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Right? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, right? Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And then then you go, and I will say of Yahweh, He is my refuge, right? Problem is you got to sing and work at the same time. You don't just sing. You got to sing and do the dishes. Sing and clean the house. Sing and get on a bus and get to work. And then when you get to work, work. And my fortress, my Yah, in Him will I trust. Right? I don't get sick. I don't get tired. I learned a long time ago, trading commodities on the Commodities Exchanges, you yell all day, Brent. You yell for hours and hours and hours, for years upon years. And then the Lord calls me to preach. And then the Lord doesn't bring a praise and worship leader, says, you're the praise and worship leader. And every day I was yelling at the top of my lungs, it's a miracle that I don't have damage. And I'd stand up in front of those Sundays that we'd have those services, and the band's behind me, and all of a sudden, I gotta give my best that day. Jesus, and I had a scratchy voice. Lover of my soul, oh, Jesus. Joe Cocker kind of thing going on. I'll never let them go. Take me from the miry clay. Said my feet upon rock. You know what I'm saying? That's all I had. But it's all I had. And the funny thing is I was able to make notes out with that voice. I love you. I mean, I was able to do it. You'll be amazed at how beautiful you're going to be tired. How productive you're going to be afraid. How much amazing accomplishments that you're going to be able to achieve if you just won't quit. And you'll just bring what you got. Just do what you can. Because what happens is the less you quit, the stronger you get. All right, let's go to Galatians 6, and I'm going to wrap this up. You guys getting something out of this today? All right, let's go to Hebrews 10. The Lord just brought me back here. You guys having fun yet? Think I'm in the Matrix? Verse 31, it is a fearful thing. It is a reverential thing. It is an amazing thing to fall into the hands of a living God. It is a wonderful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. There's so many examples of these things. I was with some children yesterday ministering to a family. And they were driving around. They have this farm. And they were driving around, and I was sitting in the back, and they were just driving this golf cart. And it had rained up where they were, and so they just were trucking away, bouncing away, kind of four-wheeling on these dirt trails. Next thing you know, they're wheels deep, above the wheels deep in mud, and they're stuck. And so I'm in the back, so I jump out. They probably got stuck because I was in the back, right? Probably, because I'm big. But we're really, and so I jump out, and I could see one was 13, one was younger, 9-ish, something like that. And then another lady was in the thing, and they're all, oh, what are we going to do? Oh no, we're going to get in trouble, we're going to get in trouble. And I just looked at them and said, we're getting out. And one of the young girls says, how do you know? And I didn't even really answer the question. I just know somehow we're getting this thing out, and I know it's going to be my job to get us out of this thing. So, of course, she doesn't really know how to drive, turn the wheels, all this. And I grew up in snow all my life, so I know how to get out of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, but then I'm also strong, you know, a golf cart's a lot lighter than a car. So I start pulling on it, and I said, we're getting out. You know, I mean, you don't get out going, we're not getting out. There's no way we're getting this thing out of the mud. This is terrible. I didn't expect to be in the mud wheels deep. No, of course you didn't expect to be in the mud wheels deep, but you're in the mud wheels deep. You better tell yourself you're getting out. I ain't getting out. I ain't getting out. No, you're getting out. I'm stuck in my life. I just got laid off. Are you getting out? Yeah, I'm getting out. Are you getting out? Yeah, I'm getting out. Are you getting out? How am I getting out? How do you know we're getting out? Because you're getting out. How are you getting out? I don't know. All right. I've gotten out before. Let me tell you how to get out. Apply for a job. Oh, no, I'd rather sit here and say, I'm not getting out. No. Apply for a job. Well, every time I go in there, they just look at me and they don't want to hire me. I say, well, then lose 20 pounds. No, I'd rather say we're not getting out. Well, no, they don't hire me. Well, then go down to the school and learn a new skill. No, I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out. It actually shocked me when this young girl said, I said, we're getting out. She goes, how do you know? I looked at her and I said, how do I know? It doesn't even compute. How do I know? We're getting out. How we're getting out, I haven't decided yet. But I know we're getting out. Because I ain't walking through these mosquito fields to get back to where we're going. This thing's coming out of this mud. How do you know? I know we're getting out. I know we're going up. I know we're getting stronger. And I know we're strong enough now to put one foot in front of the other. I know we're strong enough not to quit right now. See, every one of us could be in great shape if all you did right now was start to do a push-up. One, half a one, on your knees, leaning against the wall if necessary. I mean, if you just start like this, you're going to get stronger. Just the truth of it. Do a deep knee bend. God bless you. That actually will take you towards getting stronger. You just start like that. Soon you'll be able to go down at least that far. Oh my God. Rocket science. Just keep moving, people. Stop quitting. And stop that voice in your head that makes excuses. See, you know why you don't do that? It's because you don't really believe that you're going to get stronger. But you will. How do you know? Because I know. I've done it. I've not done it and gotten fat. And then I've done it and gotten in shape. I've not done it and passed over for opportunities. I've done it and gotten chosen for opportunities. I've not done it and missed opportunities I didn't even see that I'm sure I've missed because I just wasn't ready. And then I've done it and I've seen opportunities I never saw before. So don't quit. You will get stronger. You win in the middle. See, I like this part of the scripture. It's a fearful thing to trust God. That's what it means to fall into the hands of the living God. I was saying to this young person, just let yourself trust. When I was in college, we had a close friend of mine. I ended up living with him when we first moved to the city. And we would start every concert we would sing a song on our way into whatever it was, an auditorium or a hall, whatever it was. And we always sang this song called Wake, Freshman, Wake. We come in, wake, wake, freshman, wake. And we just, as loud as we could, come into this place to wake up the crowd. But the next thing we do is this guy would run to the front, and then he would just fall backwards. Stand there, and then he'd just let himself fall. And it was my job to catch him before he hit the floor. But not right away. I had to pretend I wasn't paying attention and then catch him just before his shoulders hit the floor. And he trusted me every time. There was a couple of times when the guys were queuing up and I was not paying attention so well. They're like, Dan, you know he's going to do it. Joe's going to do it. Joe's going to do it. You better be ready. Because and never once did I not catch him. And the first time he did it, he didn't even tell me. It was his idea. He was just checking to see if I was paying attention. And I was from me to Michelle away. So it was only a couple of steps and I could get him. But I'd catch it, and he wasn't a big guy. He's only like 145, 150 pounds. And I'd just catch him, and then I'd stand him up in the crowd and go, ugh. So we had their attention. You want to get the devil's attention? Trust God. You want to get him backed off? You want to get him on the defensive? Fall into the hands of the living God. What does that mean, living God? It means he's real. It means he's ever present. It means he's on the job. He's paying attention. It's a fearful thing. You know what that means? That means it's a wonderful thing. But really what it's kind of saying is, it's kind of saying, kind of like, wake up to the fact that he will do what he says he'll do. Do you really believe that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you? Fall. Fall into him. Trust him. Take him at his word. Breathe and connect. But recall the former days in which, after you were illuminated, after God turned the light on, right? In the very beginning, you got born again. All your sins were forgiven. He turned the light on. I can feel my eye healing. I think I'll just preach until it's healed. He'll turn the light on. But then what does it say right there? It says you endure a struggle. But recall the former days, after which you were illuminated. You endured a great struggle with sufferings. There's a middle, my friends. And there's going to be trials in that middle. But you're not of the group that turns back. I'm going to see a friend of mine today. Very good friend of mine. A very inspiring man of God. Here's a man that God has been prospering. His life has been amazing. He started as a young entrepreneur. Work was his friend. Had his own business by the time he was 18 with 10 employees, just cutting grass. Had 10 of his buddies, younger, just out in the neighborhood, cutting grass. By the time I met him, he was 29, 30 years old, and he had 60 employees, and he was putting in pools, cutting grass, planting trees, basically all the outside work in Texas that he did. It was a huge business, but huge overhead, and he was getting a little tired of having to learn a new language every week to keep the people on the cruise. Talking in Spanish, talking in Asian languages, whatever his crew, because he always had to keep people working. Regular, people who can cut grass, do all that stuff, lay brick and all the things that they were doing. Well, recently he really got blessed. He hooked up with a friend of his who basically gave him an incredible line of credit. So he was out in eastern Texas flipping ranches. He'd buy them cheap, find a buyer who wanted that ranch, and he'd go in and buy it, sell it to that guy. So Tom would get it for $4, and he'd sell it to the guy for $6. And he would search it all out. He knew every piece out there. And at first, so he learned how to fly, so he could fly over all the landscape. He's out there in this little single-engine plane. Hey, this is really cool. It's really cool, but how great would it be if I had a helicopter I could land and walk around? So now he decides he's going to go, and he's going to go learn how to fly a helicopter. So now he's flying, and God's blessing him. Flipping ranches, making money, real good money, big money. Every time he would do a couple deals a month, and each deal was $100,000 or more. That was profit for him. So he was doing all, everything's going great, and then all of a sudden one day he's taking his helicopter lesson. The prop starts up, and there was somebody that leaned a pole up at there, and it hits him in the face. And yesterday he had his eye removed. He's in the middle. Great call on his life. While he was believing God for his healing for that eye, a storm hits the Fort Worth area, Mid-Cities area there where he lives. And even with one eye, he's out rescuing people. Not sitting in his house going, my eye, my eye. Remember one time playing basketball, and there was this guy that didn't get into the games. It was a practice. And when you play basketball, it gets physical in the middle, especially with us big guys. So we're in the middle, and all of a sudden I hear this one kid. He's the biggest kid out there. He's like almost 6'10". He starts going, my eye, my eye, my... Somebody elbowed him in the eye. Like that wasn't everyday stuff in the middle of that thing. Your eye, look at me. I got a bruise off the side of my cheek. I got this guy scratched me all the way down the arm, and I'm bleeding. My eye, my butt, get the heck out of here, you crybaby. My eye, my eye. He poked me in the eye. I mean, what? You shouldn't expect to get poked. I'm going to poke you in the other eye. Get out of here. My eye, my eye. My dad would say this. That's what my dad would say to me. I'm tired. Yeah, you're tired. You're tired. Get the heck out there and mow the grass. Clean the garage when you're done. Change the oil in your mother's car. I'm tired. I got sunburned, Dad. I can't mow the grass. Yeah, so what? Wear a shirt. Put a hat on. Right? Oh, I'm too tired to get to church. Drink a cup of coffee, get to church. This is a really important message because you win in the middle. Tommy I don't understand it. I don't know a guy who has given more, prayed more, mentored more. It just doesn't seem right that he'd lose an eye. But I'll tell you what happened. I was sitting with two people just 2 days ago, and I get a text from Tommy, and Tommy says, tomorrow it'll be 45 days I haven't seen out of this eye. I've decided to take it out and get a glass eye. Text I get. I'm sitting with a guy who's going to run for governor of Connecticut, and another one who's going to run for senator of Nebraska, and they're complaining about stuff. They're complaining about their marriages. They're complaining about the state of the affairs of the United States. They're complaining, and I said to him, read this text. Brought everything back into context for him. I said, now give thanks. God has called you to do some great things. Don't spend another second complaining where it slows you down. Get your eyes, be a good example. If you're going to be a governor of a state, doggone it, lead properly. Don't lead a state full of complainers. We have departments of disability because our leaders are disabled. They want to rest. They want to go on vacation. They don't want to lead. They don't want to serve. They don't want to set an example. They don't want to breathe. They don't want to connect to God. They don't want to truly finish the race. They don't want to even win. They just want to get paid. I don't know about you, but my dad didn't pay me nothing for mowing the grass. He said, you want supper? Go mow the grass. Well, come on. My neighbor boys, they get $5 for mowing the grass. Yeah, $5. I'll give you $5. Now get out there. You're going to give me $5 for me teaching you how to mow the grass. Actually, my dad never really said all this stuff, if you're watching, Dad, but he meant it. He would have said it. He didn't have to say much. He just looked at me like, I'm the talker in the family, not my dad. I got to say this also. He only had to spank me like twice, and the rest of the time he just went like this. And now, okay, all right, I'm good. You don't have to hit me twice. I got it. I'm going to mow the grass. I'm good. Right? I was either going to mow the grass with the knot on my forehead or without. I'd rather do it without the knot on my forehead. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do the work even after you quit. So why would you quit? Because the quitting's only going to make it harder. Right? How much fun is it? Come on, tell me the truth. You're working with somebody the whole time they're complaining. You want to put a knot on them, don't you? Let's just work. Right? We go over there and complain, but do the work. It is no fun to complain and work. Right? I love when the Lord heals my eye when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I love that. So, you endured a great struggle with sufferings, partly while you were made a spectacle, both by reproaches and tribulations, and partly while you became companions of those who were so treated. For you had compassion on me in my chains, joyfully accepted the plundering of your goods, knowing that you have a better and an enduring possession for yourselves in heaven. Where are you going? What is your eye on? Because trying to maintain what you've got right now, let it be plundered for the prize. For the prize of what? Getting stronger, coming out of poverty, coming out of debt, coming out of low esteem, meaning no reputation. Most people are so busy trying to maintain their miserable situation. Well, I'm hungry. I got to go eat. What am I doing, really? I'm maintaining. I think I'd rather get my insanity. Right? I mean, I don't know how many of those I could do, but I could probably do more than most of you. Because I've been doing for a while, and I don't quit. Don't quit. If you don't quit, see, it's funny. The Lord could have healed me on my bed today, right? He could have. But I like it better when He heals me when I'm doing what He wants me to do. And the great thing about growing up with my dad is, it wasn't like my dad was going to cut that grass. If I didn't cut the grass, I was going to have to cut the grass anyway when it was longer and maybe even in a downpour. Because it was going to get cut by me. Because he wasn't going to cut it. Dan, you're cutting the grass. But it's hot out, yeah? It might be raining later. So cut it while it's hot. See, there's always going to be an excuse. Well, tonight it's going to be dark. Yeah, I know it's going to be dark. You may be out there cutting the grass in the dark. There's mosquitoes out at night in Minnesota, and the mosquitoes are like this big in Minnesota. That's an exaggeration, all right? They're big, though. It's a state bird. But watch what's going on now. You ready? Here's the verse I'm going to close with. For you had compassion on me in my chains and joyfully accepted the plundering of your goods, knowing that you have a better and an enduring possession for yourselves in heaven. So you look ahead. You know you're going to get stronger if you stay on your breath. You know you're going to look stronger if you refuse to, or get stronger if you refuse to quit. And you know you win in the middle, so finishing becomes, you're coasting across. I used to run the quarter mile. The quarter mile is a sprint. You're exhausted. You win exhausted. You come across, you don't feel good when you finish that race. You don't sometimes feel good for 45 minutes after you finish that race. Why would you even run that race? Because you like to win. There's something in mankind that was built to win. I don't know about you. I could sit down with somebody who's never excelled at sports, anything. You play checkers with them, they're trying to kick your butt. I know girls who say, oh, I'm not competitive. I'm not competitive. You play cards with them? I've had decks of cards thrown in my face by the least competitive people I've ever known. People like to win. Come on. I've seen these kids age, they don't win. What do they do? They're crying, they're yelling, why? Because they're built to win. You're built to win, Gloria. You're built to win, Alvina. You're built to win. John, you're built to win. Don't give up. Don't give up in the middle. And here's another thing. Don't let other people, their quitting, become an excuse for you. You want to quit? Quit. Drive safe. I'm out. I'm going. Oh, Pastor Dan, that doesn't seem biblical. Let me tell you something. It's so biblical, it should make your nose hurt. It's so biblical. Now, here we go. Put your eyes on getting stronger. Put your eyes on winning in the middle. Put your eyes on staying in faith. Therefore, do not cast away your confidence, which has great reward, for you have need of endurance, so that after you have done the will of God, the will of God is just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. How we getting this thing out of the mud? I don't know how we're going to get the thing out of the mud. Go forward. Oh, it's still stuck. Go backwards. Oh, it's still stuck. Turn the wheel to the right. Oh, it's still stuck. Turn the wheel to the left. Oh, it's still stuck. I'm pulling. I'm sliding. I'm pulling. I'm sliding. Turn the wheel to the right. Oh, we got it out. Amen. But I don't know how to win. Yeah, of course you don't know how to win. Turn the wheel to the right. Try now. I didn't win. Turn the wheel to the left. Try now. I didn't win. Turn the wheel straight. Try now. Push a little harder. Get out of the thing, by the way.